That's the third eagle I've seen since I've been sitting out here. So a pair of them went by. I believe that's a hawk. Let me look. Oh no, it's not a hawk. It's not a common black hawk, I don't think. Uh-uh. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's common black hawk. Common black hawk. So I seen two of them earlier, but I think the other two are a pair of black eagles. I don't think they're the common black hawk. So about this time of the day is whenever you could go live about 4:45 is a good time to go live down here if you're bird watching. Uh, they'll start flying around anywhere between that time and about 5:45. So you got about a 1 hour window there. But if you don't go live about like right now, it's gonna be a little too late to miss the early outing of the birds. So I've been feeding the black birds here. That blackbird, he kept bread in his mouth. I threw some right here on the patio up close to me, and three of these blackbirds are taking advantage of that. Probably a few more. So, but what that does is it gets bird activity around here, and once there's bird activity, then it's not that promiscuous for other birds to want to get close to, because then they don't really view me as a threat. See, so that's my objective there. As for this grill over here, I'm going to move it out of my way. That's a big grill. Well, just have to wait for some more bird activity. There's a bunch of birds in this tree over here. I seen a great kiskadee just a little bit ago before I went live, and I saw two eastern jaybirds. Those are the yellow belly birds running around here making love together. They're really easy to tell apart, and they don't have to be too close for you to tell them apart either. As long as you're close enough to see their head. What's up, sexy star? Good afternoon to you too. The great kiskadee has a much larger head, probably two and a half times the size, and they got a beak almost like a falcon, a short, pointy beak, compared to the jaybirds, which have a much smaller beak that goes straight out. And with the jaybirds, their beak is usually black or the color of the predominant color of their body. So you'll see a lot of that with the jaybirds. There's all some of them don't even have oddball colors. There's like tan and gray type colors, but their beak is going to still reflect that. So much smaller head. You can always tell when it's a jaybird versus another kind of bird. They're very distinctful bird. So I guess that makes it a lot easier for me to tell you what kind of birds I'm looking at. And I'm waiting for these hawks to come out more prevalent than what they were. There's definitely a pair of black eagles that live around here because I'm seeing them every day. And then, of course, the 70 hawks I caught on 2 live streams yesterday. I mean, that's a lot. Kind of spooky, like they were having a, you know how the blackbirds, they mass in massive numbers? You too, sexy star. You have a good day, baby darling. I did not know that the black hawk did that, but they do. They come together in big, huge pods. Apparently, anywhere from 8 to 15 or more. I think in one pod alone there was something like, what, 20, I think it was 27 birds or something like that. A lot of birds in that one pod, but that one pod was freaking huge. Even just to see that many common blackbirds, if you see 20 of them together, they own the sky. I mean, they rule wherever they're at. You'd be hard pressed to even see an eagle want to attack into those numbers. You're probably just not going to see it. There's our little thief. What you doing, my bread boy? He's gonna go dip that toast. That's not even toast today, it's just bread, but he dipped it in the water. Make it real soft, and he'll just kind of swallow that on down. Birds are a little bit smarter than people give them credit for. As far as the more exotic birds, they're just not flying yet. I mean, some of them are apparently, but there's not a big enough number to where you're going to see me showing one and then talking for a bit, showing you another couple or whatever. So this is kind of like fishing. You just sit here and wait. And fishing is a lot like that. Whit says he saw a blue warbler today. Oh, you see how catchy that is? People start noticing. Wherever they live, they see a bird with a certain type of color, and they're like, huh. They go look it up, and then they'll come back and tell me. I've had several of y'all do that. It's really cool. Warblers are really beautiful birds, just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, if you have them where you live, you're a fortunate person, wherever you're at. But that one bird that was all white, remember there's a pair of them flew in, and then after that, didn't see any, like the common blackhawks, you didn't see them or any big birds really flying around. It was that pair scared off the other birds. Those birds are falcons. I just didn't know because I'd never seen one that looked like that. They're called the gray falcon, but I don't know why, because their body is all white and their wings too, and then they just got black spots all over their body, like an enormous amount of spots on their wings. Their whole body's covered with black spots. Well, I seen that bird, and I said, that ain't no damn hawk or eagle that I ever heard of, so I had to look it up. I finally looked it up, and it's definitely the falcon that you saw in that live stream if you were watching. I couldn't identify the bird because I'd never seen it before. So I do like y'all do. I go look it up, and then I'll be like, oh, that's what that is. So I got to make a correction for yesterday's numbers. It was 4 hawks that we saw, 2 different breeds. So that's pretty cool. What's that crap about they want to teach in one of our classrooms, probably California, but they want to teach kids about one of these pop singers? I guess her life and her music. What the fuck are you talking about? Put that in high school for? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. How about you teach American history? How about you teach world history? How about you actually teach people how to do their math? You know, you come out of high school, in my opinion, you should be able to do a spreadsheet for any company. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be allowed to graduate. Seriously. That little bird right there, That is a common, I think it's called flea catcher birds. Flea catcher or fly catcher, I can't remember, but there's one of them birds. That's it, and they got a funny flying pattern too. And I think they fly like that not only to avoid the bigger birds of prey, but to catch the fucking bugs where they're flying. It makes sense. But I think that one's a gnat bird. I can't be really sure. I have to go look it up. But you see those here every day too, flying this way or that way or whatever. And they're very unmistakable because they're flat pattern and because they're so damn small and tiny. I mean, like, it's about a third of the size of a sparrow, for example. A sparrow is a much larger bird than that little bird we just saw. God, look at all the freaking blackbirds. They just took over that whole area over there. I wouldn't mind camping out watching that area right there, the busy corner, because you probably see a hawk or falcon. Falcons are really good at attacking them too. They'll sweep down and pick them right off them power lines and keep on flying. Crazy birds. Oh man. I woke up this morning. I guess somebody broke into the bedroom. That dude got arrested, and I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck's he got to do with me? And you got bad friends, they're gonna steal from you, especially when you go to jail. Especially if they know you got drugs in the room and they do drugs or they're drug dealers. What do you think's gonna happen? So they cracking down on the locks around the house and all that. And I'm like, that's fine and dandy. You know, I don't care if y'all lock up that. I should have done that years ago. Secured the house. They never worried about it until recently. Been having a lot of problems with like gang members renting out a room, and then they invite their friends over, and their friends are bad people, and shit ends up getting stolen or whatever, you know, compressor, generator, or whatever. And finally, they're clamping down on keeping the house locked. So these people that frequently come over here, if they become undesirable, they're not allowed in the house. Well, that's kind of dandy, but you know, what's it got to do with me? As far as I'm concerned, it's a drug dealer stealing from a drug dealer. I don't care if he stole from him or not. It's none of my business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, if I see the guy, I'll tell him he's not welcome here. If he don't leave, I'll call the police on him. But that's as far as that goes. You know, I don't got a problem with any of those people, really. But I guess if they're over here causing problems, you know. It's like woodpeckers. If they're a problem, then you do things to rectify the problem. You know, they do make stucco that woodpeckers don't really want to peck on. It's a real hard stucco. That would be an answer if you own a stucco house, right? Oh man, there's a falcon way over there. He just took off from that nest of theirs. I don't think y'all can see him. She's already gone. Let me show you. These common blackhawks actually live in these palm trees. And there's a set of palm trees. See that over there above these little short trees here? They got a nest in there. They got a nest somewhere back there and a couple of nests over here. Like in those two palm trees, blackhawks live in those palm trees. So when they take off going the other direction, you're not going to get a good view of them. But if they take off and come in this direction, even sort of, then we get a good view of the bird. But I didn't know there were that many blackhawks in this area. Must be a lot of plentiful variety for them to eat. There's so many of them live down here. My baby, my baby. bird fly over there, but he flew over and in that way, so I can't see him because of the tree here. I don't know what he was. No idea. Don't ask me what kind of bird that is. He's got white spots go from front to back on his wings. Actually, I could Google that. See what kind of bird he is. See, I got the bird still popped up here today. These are like this one here, for example. That's a kite. And there are so many kites that you can easily confuse them with an eagle, or a small eagle, or another hawk. This is a kite. Very confusing. You might think at a distance that would be like some type of eagle, but it's not. It's a kite. Now look at his beak. If you look at the beak, what the heck is going on here? Man, quit doing that shit to me. If you look at the beak, it has a raptor type of beak. It is a raptor, by the way. This bird will kill other animals to eat and survive. But if you look at the beak, it goes straight out and then the tip just hanging down from the top beak. Hawks do not have this kind of beak. Neither do falcons and neither do eagles. Very distinctful, but you gotta see this bird's face to see what kind of bird it is. Just these markings alone from the bottom, it's gonna be hard to tell what kind of bird it is. Unless she's close enough that you can see him real clear under there and see that this is a kite. Otherwise, you got to see this beak right here. You got to see the head. It's the only way to identify this bird from a slew of hawks, for example. I'm getting pretty good at looking this up with these damn hawks and shit. Okay, let me get back over here to where I'm gonna look that other bird up. Birds, not really showing me too good here. There's a dove, but that bird was definitely not a dove. Gray or tan. Let's see, I could go around there. Oh, everything but birds. I'll type in the word birds 3 fucking times, see if it shows me a fucking bird or not. Okay, finally gives me a bird, but nothing, no birds after that. So that I'm probably gonna have to do later, as far as looking all that up, because it's not letting me do it here. Look at regular birds for RGV, it'd probably be a lot easier. Pretty unusual birds down here. I've seen this bird here one time. I don't even know what kind of bird it is. That's a woodpecker. It's a rare one. I've only seen these, I think, maybe a couple of times. I mean, who would have knew? Like a woodpecker. Okay. Oh, here's a good one here. Now, you remember what I was saying about the jaybirds? Right there. That's a jaybird. This is a great kiskadee. His head is bigger than his head, trust me. And the great kiskadee is easy to tell because of that. Damn. The white and black mask on his head. See, his head is all white, but he has black from his beak around his head toward to the beak on the other side, and a black crown on top, and then white stripe, and then black and white around his neck. That's a kiskadee bird. So I'm going to try this next time, some grapefruit, because that's what I see a lot of these bird watchers putting out is grapefruit. So I'm assuming that a lot of these birds probably love to eat grapefruit. Hey, there's a green jay. It's got a lot of green on the body and blue in the front and back. Right there. It's actually called a green jay. Goofy looking colors, isn't it? This is what you call the northern cardinal. I'm glad I'm looking at this because I seen one of these birds right out here in this field flying, and I had no idea what kind of bird it was until now. I actually stumbled on most of the birds as far as what kind of bird is that, what kind of bird is this. Colorado has a lot of birds. Also, mainly they have a lot of birds of prey up there in that territory, but we see a lot of those same birds or breeds down here. That's a odd looking bird right there, isn't it? Oh, I know what that bird was. I'm not seeing it here, but I think it was the cardinal. What do you call it? Scissor tail. Let me go look that up. Scissor tail. Wow, these are all the different scissor tails that we have here. I've not seen one of these yet, but that's pretty awesome to see. There he is perched. Wow, that would be really awesome to see one of those. I don't know if I've probably seen one of these and didn't know what it was. That's a scissor tail. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye out. If there's any birds fly around here, you'll see them. Gotta be patient. This is really a game of patience. That's an owl. Uh-oh, did not mean to hit that. Give me back there, you goofball computer. I just touched the screen and it goes. What the hell? Look at that bird there. I don't know if that's a woodpecker or not, but he got a long beak. Well, still not seeing it. Oh well. It'll be something I stumble on at a later date. What kind of bird was that? Oh, there it is. Probably next 2, 3, 5 days. Because I'm always looking to see what kind of birds there are around here. Did I see the video? No, I have not seen that video. I'll go check it out if it's on your YouTube channel. And yes, seagulls can be very mean birds. You might notice that, especially here in Texas, when people are feeding those things, the parents have to intervene, and really you got to tell the kids not to let it eat out of your hand. And if any of those birds start getting close to you, then you want to swing at them, not necessarily hit them, but you got to let them know not to come that close to you. Yeah, I saw a guy. He just reached up, and grabbed one of them by his head and his neck area like that. Grabbed him like that, shook him real good, and then threw him back upside down. So, yeah, they'll fucking bite, man. Seagulls are mean until you show them that you're the boss, and then they're not going to get mean to you. But birds have a hierarchy, and it's very explicit. The toughest bird is the boss, and that's all there is to it. So once you figure out which bird is the boss, you just let that bird know that you're the one in charge, and then you have a problem out of them. Well, let me turn my camera around. There's one right there. Jesus, hurry up and get the camera turned around. Damn, he's up there. He's way, y'all can't even see him. I know you can't see him because I can't even see him. Oh, there he goes. Little dot. Little fucking dot. Look how high he is. Wow, he is high. Now, see, I don't know if that's a hawk or an eagle. When they're flying that high up, you can't really tell how big they are, and that's a very distinctive feature. And he's just not close enough to me. I can't see. He could be a hawk. He's a hawk or an eagle, for sure. But which one? I don't know. And now I'm better educated as to being able to tell what a falcon looks like compared to a hawk. So you're probably going to see me being able to identify those birds better and better as I continue to be a bird enthusiast and watch birds. Yeah, he came from way over here is when I noticed him, and he was circling, and then he just went way that way. So I wasn't sure if you were going to see him on the screen or not. Probably not. Well, there'll be another one coming around here in a minute. I'm always hopeful that I'll see one make a kill, like right here where we can watch him, Right out here in the yard, maybe. Somewhere out here in the yard. I moved that grill a little bit because I want to be able to see right through here real good. I can kind of see out past that grill. Or I should move it behind that pillar a little better, but I don't care. I don't care about that much. Yeah, it'd probably be a pretty cool video. I mean, if you're running, you got to see one of those blue jays. or a Oriole or a Kiskadee. Oh, yours was a warbler, though. Warblers, in my opinion, are amongst the most beautiful bird in existence. Definitely when it comes to the smaller birds, they got to be in the top five. They got to be in the top five. Maybe not, but they're definitely in the top 10. I've never seen a more beautiful bird that was that small in my life. Let's put it that way. That don't mean nothing because I spent most of my life in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And when I was living in any other state, I didn't give a damn. Yeah, all in clouds. Mm. These birds over in that tree. There's one right there anyway, and he flew from limb to limb. I like it when they fly over here and land in all these bushes over here, but they got these campers here. It makes it really hard to get a good view. You know, you're not gonna look through them. Oh look. Whoa, that little bird right there and that one right there are jaybirds. Those are two little bitty jaybirds. They're called the eastern jaybird. But if you ask me, I would have named them yellow bellies. The yellow belly jaybird. Man, it's so quiet out here today, though. I can't believe more birds ain't flying yet because it's such a nice day out. So what's going on, man? These communities. And you know, it don't matter. It don't matter what. It seems like over there at Kermit Friends, there's always somebody going after somebody in there. And the grunt, almost all of that I see in there is Tony 2.0, Tony Stark, whatever you want to call him, Johnny Mazza. He's man, there's always people going after him. But he messes with a lot of people. Okay, there just went one. Now see, that one just popped in from over here somewhere, and I didn't see him till he came clear. And now you can't see him because he's a dot. So right now, all of these birds that live here are hunting east of here because that's the direction they're flying. So the ones that live over here in this field back here, in this field that surrounds the house, we're not going to see a lot of them until maybe here in a little while. They'll come back. They'll fly this area too. But hell, when there's 70 of you, who's going to mess with your family? Nobody. Ain't nobody messing with them Blackhawks too often. I guarantee you, one of them big eagles come to town, they fucking leave. Some of them eagles are just real. Oh, shoot. phone. Sorry about that. Oh, come on, phone. Stop acting stupid with me. There you go. I mean, there are some eagles that will go after them hawks. It don't matter if there's 70 of them in one pod. Some of them eagles are just that badass, you know. But eagles can get. I've seen blackhawks kill an eagle by ganging up on him and going after his back. So that's one area there where an eagle could be caught off guard. And if he doesn't get caught in a big pool of birds that could do that to him, then he'll be okay. But if he's already kind of up in the air and you're flying like that, it's not that big of a deal because you can turn around and bite him. And yeah, I don't know why. It's just the way it is. But the Blackhawks they'll fly by real fast and then they'll peck at the back of their neck. Or they'll just keep stabbing him through his back until he just lands or falls to the ground. So eagles, like one-on-one, yeah, they're the toughest bird around. But you get them down low altitude and you get them around too many blackbirds, and the blackbirds can kill an eagle. I'm just holding my camera this west, most likely place to direction to see these birds. And we had no bites yet. Bum, 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 bum. That's what I do half the time, most of the time, to sit out back here and watch for birds. I've been watching movies. Everybody does that every day. But watch, what was that one? That female superhero movie that came out with? I forgot what it was named. It wasn't that bad a movie. It was okay. Captain something. Where she's a pilot and then she's got to go battle these people, and she thought she was battling for the good people who turned out to be the bad people. It was a long fucking story. But yeah. And I saw that movie Maverick. I thought it was a really good movie, but it just wasn't that realistic to me. I really thought the first one overshadowed the second one when it comes to accuracy. And but in this movie, they're using F-18s, and then F-18s get pursued by fifth generation planes that outclass that plane. So yeah, it's like you will never see that. You'll never see that in any kind of real life activity. If America went to go blow up a nuclear site like that off of its aircraft carrier planes, they would have taken F-35s, and the F-35s will shadow them from a higher altitude. And then when they get any kind of what do you call them, bogies, enemy planes, fighter jets coming towards the F-18s, the F-35s would take them out. They just take them out. And but you don't see that in this movie. You see just the F-18s being used, and that's so dumb. You know, in reality, there would have never been a dogfight between the F-18 and the enemy plane. And scenarios of that are so rare. I mean, it's hard to even talk about or mention. Now, we did see that one in the Gulf War. There was a battle between an F-18 and one of Iraq's fighter jets. Well, the pilot knows he's outclassed. There's no way he's going to stand up to that plane. So the pilot took the plane down real low, and he's flying about 200 feet to 400 feet off of the ground. So he's not very high up. I think it was 400 technically, but the problem with that terrain is it's very hilly. There's a lot of real tall hills and whatnot in that area. And when that other pilot went down to fly that low, his plane's not built for that. So he doesn't, in other words, he doesn't have a good terrain radar for one. Because if he was in a plane that was equipped for that, he would be able to fly real low to the ground like the F-18. So the F-18 is used to bomb shit. So it does have a radar like that. But not all the planes do. Like the fighter jets, all they need to see is the other planes for the most part. But you saw another plane coming in to help that plane. By the time it got there, the enemy plane ran into the ground. And so how did they do that? Well, they ran into the ground because he was flying too fucking low and ran into the ground. And that's a common flaw amongst inexperienced fighter pilots. There's no reason if your enemy flies low for you to fly that low. That's the biggest mistake he made. So if your pilot goes hits the deck and he's flying, even just right off the ground, treetop level, the other pilot, the way we train them is to stay up higher than them. That way you always have the angle of attack. You keep your eyes on them and whatnot. And you probably, if you're high enough, you can generate more speed. But at that altitude, there's not going to be any difference. And so when I see that's a real life fuck up, right? I mean, if that pilot hadn't hit the ground, he would have caught the other plane eventually, and he would have shot him out of the sky. That's the reality of it. Unless the F-18 could get into a real mountainous area and maneuverability then comes into play. Because quite frankly, there's not that many planes that can keep up with the F-18 using those kind of tactics. F-16 could, easy. F-16 will outturn any plane, pretty much. And, leads you over to other aspects of our military, really, if you think about it. Because if you go back to World War II and you can say, well, the F-109, our planes pounded the shit out of them. Even the P-47s were able to do a good job on them, but they were heavily outclassed in every aspect. So they had to use a lot of team tactics in order to be able to stand up against Japanese planes. But what did that do? It got a lot of them shot down regardless. When we finally came out with the F-4 Corsair and the P-51 Mustang, you can look at those planes and you can say, you know what? The F-4 Corsair can hold its own with a 190. Okay? So the 190 is a lot better plane than the F-109. So the 190, Focke-Wulf 190 we would call it, for example, would be, in terms of speed, if you're up higher altitude, the F-190 is a lot faster than the Corsair or the Mustang, but the Corsair is in between. Down on the ground, well, you're probably looking at the F4 being as fast as the 190, or close to it. But the P-51 Mustang is faster when you're talking low altitude. Now, in terms of roll, if they roll over on their back, roll around like spinning while they're flying straight, the same thing. The F-190 is the better plane. The F-4 Corsair is second, and then the Mustang is third. What made the Mustang such a great fighter plane, differed from any other plane that we had at the time, or that anybody had for that matter, because it was heavily armored. The engine was armored. Most of the tanks on the P-51s were all self-sealing tanks, but not all of them. But they were heavily armored. They had a thick iron plate behind the pilot. So if the Germans 190 came in behind it and laid some rounds in right there. No, it's not going to hurt the pilot because unless that plane is real close doing that, it's probably not going to be able to penetrate that armor. And even then, it might not. So that's one reason. But now you got to think, well, how is it that the P-51 could then turn around and get on the rear end of a 190 and shoot it down? Here's where your knowledge is fixed to be picked up. The German planes, they had thin wings, and they did not have fuel in their wings. The F-109 did not have fuel in the wings. The F-190 or the Focke-Wulf 190 did not have fuel in the wings. They had very thin wings, which you would think would be better in terms of speed. Well, yeah, of course, straight speed, but only straight speed. The drawback is you don't have a lot of wing to say if you turn on the side and you want to maneuver to the right and then back to the left. You're doing these zigzags, right? No other plane in World War II could keep up with a P-51 Mustang. And when it comes to dogfighting, that's what you need. Not top speed, not rolling pitch. You don't fuck all that shit. You need a plane that can outmaneuver the enemy plane. And the P-51 could do 3 circles around a fucking F-190 before the F-190 would do 1 circle. See, a lot of people didn't know that. So if they got on the acid of a P-51, he simply rode it on its side, started turning circles until he caught up. Not even all the way around, a little bit over halfway, and he would have already caught that F-190 and shot him out of the sky. And that's another thing. The firepower on a P-51 Mustang was as good as any other plane in World War II. The only plane outfitted with slightly better munitions was the F-4 Corsair because a lot of them were armed up with cannons. So they had a combination of 50 cal cannons, for example. So the firepower alone does not separate any one plane from the other. It's what plane is most maneuverable. And when you're talking dogfight maneuverability, well, P-51 is going to win every single time. And there you have it, folks. Now you know why American planes could whoop the shit out of the Japanese planes or the German planes. Because you got long wings here, right? And no matter the thickness, that's just minor resistance. But from front to back on the wings, if your wing is that thick, you're not going to catch a lot of wind. It's not going to really move, so you can turn fast. But the P-51 had very wide wings. So when it lifted up its flaps to go in a certain direction, it caught a lot more air. And that's why the P-51 was such a deadly plane. Quite simply put, in a dogfight, no other plane can keep up with the 51 Mustang, P-51. Never was going to happen. Ironically, they learned that from the 47s. When the 47s were attacking these 109s, they had one possible advantage, and that was that they could turn and maneuver really well compared to the F-109. Not much better, but a little better. It's still an underpowered plane. So the Germans, it would take them a lot more time to get their sights in on one of those planes versus the other way around. So yeah, I like to study those things. Why was the P-51 such a very accomplished plane? And I was watching this video the other day, and they were talking about that. And what you simply need to do is go compare those 3 planes or those 4 planes together and see which plane was the better. Because if you're just reading the stats and you don't know what I just told you, in every category, the Focke-Wulf 190 pretty much should have reigned supreme in the air and shot down anything. But the fact is, it simply could not keep up with P-51 Mustang in terms of maneuverability is concerned. See, it could turn this way faster than our plane, but once our plane's on its side, it's still going to hook. So our plane can go turn up or down, or if it's on its side, it could do the S-curves like this all day long, and that plane behind it is going to give up because it can't keep up. See, isn't that cool? So they all had different characteristics, but it makes sense why the P-51 could not roll and pitch like well, any of the other three planes in the categories, or even the Spitfire. It didn't even come close to that. And what made the Spitfire such a unique plane is even though it was underpowered, it was the type of wings that they put on its body, and its body was thin enough it overcame. They had enough speed, but more importantly, they had maneuverability. Again, the Spitfire would have lost out to the P-51 in a head-on battle. And this is why I have always picked the P-51 as the best superiority fighter of World War II, because even though the Corsair had a lot of advantages on a P-51, there's no way that Corsair is going to stay on the tail of a P-51 because he can make two circles to the Corsair one. So if he can outturn him, well, the P-51 is going to win every time. The only chance that the Corsair, the 109 or the 190 would have against a Mustang would be if they were coming down at an angle from the side of the plane and laid in some really good rounds enough to disable the plane or kill the pilot. But you don't see that very often. Only in the real large number of dogfights would you ever hear those type of things happening to the pilots. It did happen, of course, but very few times. And then the F6 Grumman came out, and that plane was not better than the F4 Corsair or the Mustang. It wasn't, but it could almost keep up with the Mustang in terms of maneuverability, just like I explained to you, because it had enough wing to do so. And it was well armored. Just another thing they learned. So when they built that plane, they built it for that. But they intentionally built that plane to be able to carry more of a payload. And it became the Navy's go-to plane after World War II until they were done with them and switched over to other planes. But the F6 was not a plane that if it saw a lot of combat against the Germans or the Japanese planes, it would not have had the good numbers that the F4 had or the Mustang. I don't know, that stuff's interesting to me. I guess maybe that's why I like identifying these birds and their characteristics, because some of these things that you learn about birds make you go, huh, why can that bird whoop that bird's ass? Don't make sense till you look it up and you read about the abilities of the two birds. And then you kind of figure that out. So I did not see a raptor yesterday. When that bird flew by, I didn't know what kind of bird it was. It's the gray falcon. That's what kind of bird it is. So if you see him in my live stream and I show you one of those birds and it's all white with black spots all over its body, especially its wings, before I even tell you what it is, you're going to know what it is by looking at it. Also, the beak of a falcon is probably a third the size of a hawk or an eagle. They don't have huge beaks, but they do, of course, have those style of beaks. Very similar. And then you see these birds flying like that little loner bird out there. That, believe it or not, is a jaybird that just flew by. Huh, that's a jaybird. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I hit buttons on accident. What kind of birds you watching today, Bob? Jesus first always. And we're looking for that pterodactyl. I haven't seen him in years. You seen any out there? No. See no pterodactyl. Oh, actually, wait a minute. There's one right there. Can you see him? He's camouflaged on the other side of the fence. Wow. I didn't know they were invisible. You're funny, though. What am I drinking tonight? Not really drinking anything tonight. Just having some coffee. Yeah, mainly every day I expect to see hawks, if that's what you're wondering. But I'm always looking for that more exotic bird that's out there that, maybe I'm going to see once a year or once every 2 or 3 years, or I'll be lucky to have seen it. And I'm always looking for that Jaguar Arundi cat because now that I've seen one of them, I just want to get one on the live stream. Because if I can get one of those on a live stream, from everything I've read, I'll be like the only person to do that in this area in the past 20 years, kind of thing, maybe 15 years. But that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, put my name in the history books for a short period of time at least. But now that I know what he likes to eat, I'm gonna go buy some rabbits. Let them loose out here. I just heard something go meow. It could be any kind of cat. I don't know. Man, it's on a clear sky. What am I powered up to? 89%. That'll work. I'm gonna go walk. I'm gonna walk around the house. Oh, fucking knee. I did something. My fucking knee is killing me. I don't know. I slept wrong or something. I see a bird up there on the tree. One on that tree. Two up there. Oh yeah, look at that pretty bird. Well, that is a pretty bird. I'm always looking for these branches to see if there's any hawks perched up there or not. Look at that. That's a field bird, a dove, and oh, that's a jaybird. That little bird's a jaybird. Look at that. Jaybird and a dove. Tweet, tweet. Walking against the sun right now. That's not going to help me. These are weird cloud formations. Oh, look, there's one. There goes a hawk right there. That's the common black hawk. We got a lot of them out here. A lot of them. You see them every day out here. Blackbirds, hawk. And you see him flying that way also towards the east, looking, he's going out to better hunting grounds. Man, I'm sorry. It just keeps happening. My hand keeps hitting the wrong deal. I need to get like a stick or something to put this on. Haven't done it yet, but did y'all see the hawk that was flying earlier? I think y'all saw that, right? Now, right there is a dove. Saw a black hawk. I mean, a black jay or a jaybird. He's plain though. He doesn't have a lot of colors on that particular jaybird. But when you get that close to him, you can see the beak, and his beak and the mask on him was black. To my knowledge, only the jaybird has that feature. Ugh. Put the phone back up. Well, I walked around the house and got to see a hawk. Otherwise, we would have never saw him. I would have never saw that hawk. But if I'm over there, I'm not going to see the birds flying through here, and there are a lot of them. I don't know what that was. Might have been a jaybird. I don't know. We have the kiskadee birds out here. Got orioles, warblers, all kinds of birds. But if I can help you occupy your downtime or your boredom out there, well, good. If not, well, so be it. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. We get the most unusual cloud formations out here too. Another tiny little bird right there flying through the area. The blackbird. Oh, yeah. I get chickens nearby. I presume chickens are all over America. I would presume. Good stuff. It's got some bad shit in there. Let me throw it out. I'll do that later on. Somebody done ran off with the knife. Oh, here's one. Oh, almost got my damn coffee. Boom, 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 boom. I kind of got this area pretty much to myself for a month. I mean, other people come out here occasionally, but usually me and guy Gene, we live out there most of the time. But he done flew to Asia for a month, business trip. So, well, business slash personal, if you will. So what I do is I come put these up here. Like that. Oh, so what's going on, man? What you got? Can't wrestle alligators on concrete, boy. I know how much you missed them gator tails with honey mustard sauce. Not that you're pretty freaking out there, but you know what are you talking about? Be careful hanging with the city slickers. It might turn you some kind of weird way. I don't know if I take it. You moved to Beverly Hills. Alligator? Fuck yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of restaurants around here that sell gators and fucking gar. They serve a lot of restaurants serve gar too down here. They got this one guy, him and his sons, they primarily go fishing for gar, and that's all they do. Then they weigh it out, package it up, and then they go sell it to the restaurants. Ugh. Dun, 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 dun. There go little birds. Come on, you eagles. Where y'all at? I wouldn't mind seeing another falcon today. Oh shit. Hey baby, hey my baby. Man, it sure gets boring here, son. Oh look, there goes something way up there, but damn, he ain't that big a bird. He's a tiny little thing. Too bad he didn't come closer. We could identify. I don't even think y'all can see him. Little dot right out there. Little fucking dot going through the air. He's out of visual range for the most part now. Yeah, I can't even see him no more. Ooh. I am curious about some of these birds though. Like, what kind of birds are these? See, I got some birds popped up. Little booger right there. That's a white-tailed hawk right there. It's a hawk. See his beak? It's got a more pronounced beak than the falcon. and his beak doesn't come out straight and then oval down. His beak straight up is already going at that angle. This is the hawk that I saw here yesterday and the day before, I think, too. But I know I saw one yesterday. And I had no idea what the hell that was. See, his beak, his does go out kind of straight and then comes down. Now that is strange, isn't it? Eagles, falcons, and hawks. You really got to pull this up to know what the hell you're looking at. Now, here's something else I've learned. The common black hawk can easily be misconstrued with the turkey vulture. Turkey vulture is a type of eagle, and he also has the white stripe on the back of his tail. So a lot of times, even I am misidentifying these birds because there's no white spots on his wings under there. So this is not a common blackbird. So that makes it a little bit easier to tell what kind of bird this is. And then you run into this problem here. Well, there's your hawk right there. He's also got the white stripe across his tail. This makes it very hard to distinguish between the types of birds that you're looking at. But I've only seen the type of blackhawks here who have the ring around their tail and underneath the wing. There's one. He's a Southern California bird. Now we've seen this one here, the red-tailed hawk. The red-tailed hawk is a big hawk. He's bigger than the black hawks you're seeing out here predominantly. He's a very big hawk. And these birds here got between a 10 and 11 feet between wingtip to wingtip while they're flying. So they're like in between the size of that common black hawk and maybe an eagle. But they're not near as big as an eagle. They're close to it, though. He's got a good-sized body. Look at his body. It's real healthy. Compared to, say, a bird like this one right here, or this bird right here, or that bird there, or pretty much most of these other birds. The red-tailed hawk has a huge body, big talons. He's looking to kill anything that gets in between him and his meal. There's an eagle right here that could be misidentified as a hawk, if not for his size. But you see why sometimes it's hard for me to identify these birds. Now this is called a zone-tailed hawk right here. This hawk can be mistaken for an eagle. Uh-oh, let me come out of that. Oh well, just came out of it all the way around, didn't it? I don't know why it did that for. It's hard. It's really hard to tell between a hawk and an eagle sometimes. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better. But that's how come I know what that common black eagle looks like, because I see them a lot. The birds I don't see that much. It's really hard to identify those birds. But these kites, like see that kite right there, can easily be mistaken for a hawk. But look at his beak. He got a real short predator beak. Mm. Here's a bird I caught on the live stream. This bird right here, a water bird. We definitely got a lot of those kind of birds here. This is called a red-shouldered hawk. It's not that big of a hawk. Damn, got coughing for some reason. Don't know why. But this bird could be misidentified a lot too, if not for his beak. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, here's a big white-tailed hawk right here, taking off or landing. Oh, that's where their nest is at right there. There's two of them. How'd you like to have to make a bunch of those nests all over the place just in hopes that some of your eggs will survive? Now, here's another bird that has been spotted here in Texas that has yet to be identified. What is he? Some kind of raptorosaurus? Looks like a prehistoric bird, don't it? Looking at the long beak, he's some type of water bird. But he is one that they're not really sure what he is. This is a Jurassic time period bird, whatever it is. That is freaking cool, right? Look at his legs. It's on a hind part of his body and a part of his wing. Makeup. This is like a very primitive bird. Very primitive. Now this one here is a bat. I wonder if that big bird is some kind of bat. Right now he's too big. Here's a bat. See, a bat looks exactly like that large-ass bird that we're seeing here in Texas. So it makes you wonder, is he a type of huge, giant bat? Or is he in the bat family? Because the only time you've seen these features, and I'll show you again, look, a bat. A bat is the only one that I know of that has its legs attached to its wings like that, and its arms very distinctly attached underneath the wing like that, with the wing protruding in front of the arm here. So I don't know. I'd like to see one of these on one of my live streams, but man, it's probably some kind of water bird, but what kind of bird is that? Does anybody know? It has yet to be identified, but they've seen a lot of these birds here. I don't know about a lot, but they're seeing a lot of these birds here. Here's a good shot somebody got of one of these types of birds. But here, this one here's got smaller wings. It's not really like the other one where so this is a different type of Jurassic period bird. Not so much a Jurassic area. It's not like the other one we're seeing, which is right here. This is the bird that they're seeing a lot of here in Texas. And it's got, look, a long, skinny, small neck, a long freaking beak here. But his body is just like that of a rat. A very prehistoric bird right here. And nobody here knows what kind of bird it is. It has not been identified. And I don't know why. If it's a bird that we didn't know existed at one time, then they might want to think about giving this bird a name, right? See, that's a bat. See, its leg features and its arms are exactly the same as that other bird that nobody here has been able to identify yet. Now, let me get you in a better perspective here. Oh, it's about as big as it's going to let me get that. It won't. Oh, okay, I can't blow it up over here. So that is a bat. From the shoulder down and over, this bat is identical to the bird that nobody knows what kind of bird it is. And I'm saying it must be some type of unknown bat. Or maybe it's related to the bat. It's a bat-like bird, perhaps. I don't know. Again, that's the bat. And here's the bird right here that very much resembles a bat. If I get a good picture of him somewhere. Maybe that one. See there? And this one's even got a freaking tail like a freaking some kind of animal. We got long beak. The arms are part of the wings. The legs come out very distinctly a bat. I did not know there was any birds out there that looked that close to a bat and be so different from the head up. This is a prehistoric bird here. It's called the Parasaurus. Whatever the fuck that is. Here's an Allosaurus that they recreated. So whatever kind of bird this is, he's definitely related to these prehistoric birds. But the one we're seeing here is this one here. It's more like this one here. He don't have the tail like the other bird. But his body looks just like a freaking rat, don't it? But look at that long beak. Look at him. If you cut his head off at the shoulders, his neck and all, you would say that is a bat. About the only difference, and not all bats have this feature, Right up here is where the end of their arms go, and they get these little claw-like hands sticking out from the wings. This bird does not. His arms extend out the full length of his wing. So there are notable differences, but not that big of a difference to make me think this is not some type of rat family of bird. He just got a long neck and a long beak. Now on this bird, I'm going to click over to go to the site because it looks like they know something about this kind of bird. It's different. Or not a bird. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's bat. See? Yeah, bat. It's a bat. How fucking big that bat is. Hey, it can be easily mistaken for a bird, but he's got the rat head on. And his also, he does not have the hands poking up on the wings right there. So this is identical to the other bird in its body features, except this is a bat, and the other one has so far been classified as an unidentified bird. Isn't that interesting? If I ever see one of them birds, I'm going to look at it, I'll probably say something like, look, there's a naked jaybird. I don't know what we call it. But I don't know if we'll ever see one of those kind of birds. Long beak like that, I would think he would want to stick around where there's food, in the water for the most part. But he could be a pterodactyl. How about that? He could be like the big mammoth elephants that went extinct. Before they went extinct, they all were on that island up there in the northeastern part of the United States until they finally died off. And they didn't die off until after the Europeans started settling in the United States of America. They were short, little bitty sons of bitches, like no bigger than a hog. But they were elephants, and a prehistoric elephant at that. But they're now extinct completely. And you can look at the same thing with birds. Really, their environment dictates how big they grow more than anything. Helicopter somebody owns. He's flying down there in Mexico. It could be a going down there to look at the border. Who knows? It appears to be a privately owned helicopter, but it could be a helicopter that maybe a news station owns or something like that. Y'all didn't even know that kind of bird existed, did you? I didn't either, to be honest with you. I just now stumbled on it while I was talking to you, looking up these kind of birds. I've seen birdmen like Buck Rogers, but if I do, I'll send you a pic or two. Scary freaks. I wouldn't be surprised, Bob, if these wackadoos have a surgeon sew a wing on them. Heron can get big too. That is true, yeah, but most of them aren't that big, but some of the yeah. It's weird because within a family of birds, you can predominantly see one that's maybe not that big a bird, And then you go to another part of the country or another country even, and you see the same family of bird, but the bird's a lot bigger. Yeah, it makes it kind of a challenge, don't it, to identify the birds. Keep an eye on the earthquakes. Nah, I don't care about no earthquakes. We don't have no earthquakes here. Yeah, I'm sure we do, but they got to be minor. You don't even probably won't even feel one around here. We just don't have earthquakes down here, and we don't have a lot. We don't have tornadoes down here. I haven't even heard of a tornado anywhere near here in 3 years. And when I ask people about that, they tell me, yeah, it seems like there was one about 25 years ago, but it wasn't that big. Didn't do any damage. I'm like, okay. So this is not Tornado Alley where I live. Uh, Probably in terms of the most damage that can be done in this area is if a massive hurricane hit and it looped around, coming and it looped right down and into this area right here, right like smack dab into it. If a really enormous hurricane were to hit right out here in Padre Island, we're still not going to get it that bad because we got the islands out there, Padre Island, and that's like a barrier between the mainland and the ocean. So number one, we're just not going to get it that bad. But if we did, it would take an enormous one to bring in that much water to where we would get flooded out here for at least a few days. And yeah, I've seen that happen. That has happened. That happened about 2 years ago. I was living in Edinburgh, and a hurricane came through and hit this area. But what we got from it was the aftermath, the surrounding of the hurricane, where there's a lot of wind and water, and that's where the problem can lie. In wherever a hurricane hits, you're always going to have that. So we flooded for like at least 3 days or so for that water to drain down. But didn't do anything major as far as damage is concerned. Yeah, baby, baby, what you gonna do? Huh, that bird just decided to fly up and right back down, didn't he? Sometimes these birds do the dumbest things. Like when you see them fly up, turn around and fly right back to where they were at, it's like, why even bother flying? But if he's a fly catcher, he might have saw a fly and went up there and caught it. Back down. Could have been. We got all kinds of different, like the bird you was talking about a minute ago, the heron. Well, also with those kind of birds, I mean, it's not a very big bird. It's small and tiny, but any kind of little tiny insect that's flying through the air, that's what these kind of birds eat. So they can call it like a flea bird all they want, and they may predominantly go after the fleas, but they can also eat the other little flying bugs, like a gnat or even like a fly. It's just whatever they saw the birds eating way back when, they named it after that. Like the fly bird or the flea bird. Man, you know how many different kinds there are? They're not even all in the same damn family. They're just called that because they eat bugs, flying bugs, or fly or whatever. But I mean, the common blackbird could have easily been named uh, the lizard tail bird because they live around here. They live to go after these lizards. And we got a few lizards here. So, like if a lizard were to be crawling through right there, it ain't nothing to see a blackhawk run down here and pick him and take off with him. Like they do in a heartbeat. And I see them walking around this house a lot, just like, ain't no lizards. Darn it. You know what I mean? But lizards around here, they're nothing but bird food. One of them little fly catching birds right there. There's the clouds are all broken up from here back to the other side of the house, but right here you see where they're getting thicker, the cloud formations. Oh look, there was a big bird. Look, he went down and landed and back there somewhere. Oh no, he's still flying. Wow, what was that? He come from over here somewhere and flew over here. It could be a hawk. Might have been flown into his nest over there. You know what's odd? The nests you see them predominantly putting out, I haven't seen any of those types of nests around here. But you know the birds are living back here, so they got to have. I know they're in that palm tree right there, and I know I've seen them come out of both of those palm trees. They got to be also nesting in those other trees in through here. You see all that tall grass? Makes it kind of difficult to see the smaller wild cats walking through here. It's a challenge. It's going to be a slow day for bird watching. Okay, when are they going to come out with the next Bionic Woman series? Since they want to do all the movies, woman power or minority power or gay power, right? I'm waiting. About a female G.I. Joe. You ain't fuck that one up. No, wait, I got one. How about I don't give a fuck G.I. Joe? He'll swing both ways. Yeah, that'll be next. He can take it up the rump while he's nailing your wife at the same time. He don't care. G.I. Joe. Well, they'll have to change the music up to be something like G.I. Joe. Hey! That's just funny, isn't it? Don't look at the naked ones that will turn your eyes flying, Bob. Yes, possibly. What's up, man? Nothing. It's a slow day bird watching. I saw a few hawks. Is about it. Oh la 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 la. Yeah, pretty slow. All right, guys. I'm gonna let y'all run for a little bit. Go do my thing. Don't worry. We'll be careful here. I'll send you in a pic or two. Yeah, man. Any kind of you guys got any kind of photos? I think maybe I could start up like a Facebook page, I guess, and get a bunch of people in there, maybe some fellow bird watchers, and we could, you know, go check out these some really cool birds. You know, where you get the photo and then you can put it on there or post it to the group. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I ever told you guys I'd seen one of them prehistoric birds, you would have told me I was nuts. But I just showed him to you. They're spotted around here. A lot of people have gotten pictures of them, but they don't know what kind of bird it is. It's never been identified yet, or hasn't been yet. So it's a new bird species, but it's not new. It's got the body of a bat, a long neck, and a real long beak. Definitely a bird lost through time. Definitely. Some type of prehistoric bird. Wouldn't you say? All right, guys. I'll holler at you the next go around. If Witz is out there, yes, post up that picture, maybe over there in Discord or somewhere. That'd be pretty cool to check out that blue jay. I think you saw. Yeah, blue jays and all those jays are real colorful. Those are pretty birds. Pretty cool. The jaybird and the cardinals. Yeah, but that one red cardinal I was showing you earlier. Do you remember when I was live streaming and that bird looked a lot like a cardinal, but I said he was a lot bigger than a cardinal? And he definitely had very distinctive tail that was spread out, and his wings were all out like that. And he flew, landed right over here somewhere in one of these trees. And then we caught him when he took off. Oh, what is that? I don't know. Could be anything. Maybe a jaybird, maybe, but he's kind of big for a jaybird. I don't know. It could be. Well, that bat turned out to be a cardinal. That red cardinal I showed you earlier, I'd like to get one of those on live stream. That's what kind of bird that was. And until today, I looked it up. I didn't even know what kind of bird that was. Ain't that cool? That we can do that. We can see birds, we don't know what they are. Maybe a month or two later, you stumble on it and you're like, oh, yeah. So that's when you got to have a good memory. Is, you know, the picture of that bird is burned into your mind. So when you see it later on, you can identify it. Unless it's that bird that nobody knows what it is. Well, maybe you can name it. Peanut butter and bird seed, huh? Okay. Well, I'll let you know if any of these birds. Don't know what those were either. If we get any of those more exotic birds here, I'll definitely let you know. I'll pop up and go live real quick. I'll at y'all later, man. Y'all be cool out there and, try to give each other a pat on the back or whatever when you see something from them, activity wise. Don't forget to lobby, and go make a post for us Texans. Fuck Beto O'Rourke. How about that? All right, later, guys.